Hello and welcome to this edition of Nailed It. Today we're going to be using rough lumber to make this beautiful clock. Now the purpose of this video is to show you that you can work with some pretty rough lumber without needing any special tools. I do have a companion video that shows you how to cut circles on your bandsaw that you'll see a little bit later on, and a second companion video that shows you how I do almost all of my finishing and get a perfect finish every time. Like I said before, this video is really meant for those of you without a lot of tools. Now I do have a 6-inch joiner, but I'm not going to be using that to prepare this wood. All I'm going to be using is a sander, and then I'm going to be using my bandsaw. I'm going to start sanding with 80 grit and move my way up to 310. Now if we compare a piece of wood that we started with to a piece of wood that is finished, you can really see the difference. Next, we need to draw out our circle. To do that, I'm going to take the longest hand on our clock, which is the second hand, and a compass, and I'm going to set my compass for about ½ an inch longer than the second hand. That'll give me a little extra room around the second hand as it goes around the clock where those numbers are gonna fit in. So I'm gonna find where I want my center point and then do a quick pass without actually drawing a circle, just to make sure it doesn't go over the edge or catch any piece that I don't want to be part of my clock. Then I'll go ahead and make that mark. Then I'm going to really dig in where the center point is so I know exactly where to drill my hole. Next, we're going to cut out the clock's circle using a circle cutting jig. If you want to see how I made mine, click right here. All right, so we're almost done. Now we can stop right here, sand up these edges, give it some oil and a finish, but I'm gonna take one extra step and route a Roman Ogee profile onto the face of this clock. You don't have to do this. You could stop right here and make your clock and it'll look absolutely beautiful. I am gonna take this extra step just to give it a little extra depth and give it a little extra character. Now I'm going to give it a little extra sanding around the edge before I start with the finish. Next up, we need to glue the numbers to the clock face. I decided to lay the numbers out ahead of time just to make sure the spacing was correct before I glued it down. And the last thing to do is just put on the clockworks. Well, I hope that shows you that you don't need a lot of tools to start working with rough wood, and hopefully that takes out some of the intimidation of picking out some rough wood at your local lumber yard. If you like this project, I've got a couple other projects down below. You can take a look at those. If you want to see some behind the scenes footage, you can follow me on Snapchat. You can also like my page on Facebook or follow me on Twitter. And if you like what you see here, you can go to my website at www.naileditwoodcraft.com and buy some swag like a t-shirt or maybe a coffee mug, those kind of things to help support the show. I've also got a Patreon there. I haven't officially launched the Patreon with a video or anything like that. So if you want to take a look at that Patreon and kind of see what's coming up next, feel free to do so. Thanks for watching.